All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the program for Saturday, October 3rd, 2009. I am Sean Leslie, broadcasting from the ninth circle of hell here in the radio room at the legislature in beautiful downtown Victoria. And on the show today, the Prince of Pot, Marc Emery. Well, a snippet of him anyway. I'll get to that in a moment. And I want to hear from you. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now, 604-280-9898, star 9898 on your cell phone, and long-distance toll-free, 1-877-399-9898. Should Marc Emery be sent to the U.S. to serve 5 years in prison for selling pot seeds? We'll also hear from Marc's wife, Jody. She's organized a rally outside the North Fraser Pretrial Center today. And again, I'll give you a few more details in a moment. Also today, the Bear Creek Park debate in Surrey. The city wants to ram a new road right through the middle of a park. We'll hear from local residents who oppose the plan and one councillor who thinks it is a good idea. And speaking of controversial municipal plans, Metro Vancouver Commissioner Johnny Carline will join us and tell us why burning garbage is a good idea and how your pocketbook might be affected. The Vancouver International Film Festival is underway. We'll look at some of the highlights, including a new documentary on the men who fought Muhammad Ali. And the mystery of BC's disappearing salmon, biologist Alexandra Morton will join us and tell us what we have to do to save this dwindling resource. The phone lines, as always, are open, as I say, at 604-280-9898, or you can drop me an email at any time at sleslie@cknw.com. Now, Marc Emery. I'm sure you probably know the back story here, the details, but in case you don't, he is now waiting at the North Fraser Pretrial Center. He's in custody there, awaiting transfer to the U.S. As soon as the federal government signs an extradition order, Emery will be sent to the United States to begin serving his 5-year prison term. 5 years for selling pot seeds into the U.S., an activity that he carried out very publicly. In fact, he kind of bragged about it. He paid taxes on his earnings, which were fairly substantial, and finally the Americans got fed up. He has pleaded guilty, and as part of the plea bargain, he'll be sent down to this 5-year prison term. Still not happy about it, obviously, and my question to you is this fit and just punishment? 604-280-9898, star 9898 on your cell phone. Jody Emery, Marc's wife, will join us in a few moments. She's been taking part in a rally outside the North Fraser Pretrial Center in Surrey, where Marc is, as I say, currently awaiting that transfer. I think he's got 30 days there maximum for the government to wait for him to file any kind of appeal and then sign that extradition order. Now, we had been scheduled to do a full interview with Marc from jail. It didn't work out, unfortunately, and we're not sure exactly why. Everything was fine on our end in terms of the technology. We tried to make contact a number of times, and every time we went to actually do the interview, the phone would cut out for some reason. He couldn't hear what I was saying. We did get a statement from Marc, though. He kind of got fed up with us after having tried several times to make contact. You'll hear me trying to kind of make contact with him during this snippet, but I want to play it anyway because it gives you a snapshot of Marc's thoughts as he's behind bars. This was me trying to talk to him about an hour ago.
8x10 concrete and steel cell with a roommate named Tattoo, and today I'll be locked down in 20 hours. I get occasionally 40 minutes out, which I've used trying to get through to you, most futilely. They monitor the calls here, and they don't like me criticizing the prison, so that's probably why they're dicking around with me. It's cost me about $10 just to call you 12 times over the last 30 minutes. I'll be locked in my cell shortly, and the food is terrible, and I'm trying to keep busy writing extensively and dealing with all the frustrating, horrible bureaucracies. I can't even get dental floss or dentistics for my dental care because they think that people might create a noose with dental floss. So that's the kind of institution you're dealing with here, where absolutely nothing is available. My toothbrush is an inch long. They don't give you real toothbrushes because they're afraid people will whittle them into spikes to stab people. And so as you can see, I'm with fabulous company and a draconian prison system that doesn't even allow you to have dental floss.
Marc, can you hear me at all?
Sweet life here, as you can tell. And, of course, I'm sure I eminently deserve it for distributing seeds of a plant to consenting adults. around the world.
Mark, can you hear me?
This without getting any response from you and presuming it might be on the air, because the prison here is just not allowing me to receive your calls, conversation with you, because they don't like the fact that there's a vigil out front of the prison today from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and there'll be one here every day. And they don't like the fact that I criticize the appalling food that they serve here, the cheapest possible stuff they get, I'm sure seconds at any, like, marketplace and what have you. So typically it's a difficult life that I'm trying to keep cheerful and busy by writing extensively, and hopefully I'll receive books, because there are no books here, that I can read shortly from people who will send them to me from chapters.ca. And I guess I'll say goodbye if this was even broadcast at all, because the prison doesn't appear to be allowing me to have conversations with CKNW any longer. So I appreciate all the support I'm getting from people, and if people want to go to cannabisculture.com and freemarkemery.ca, they can read more about my situation. Thanks very much, CKNW. See you next time.
Well, I found that very amusing. Marc Emery's personality is still shining through from his jail cell there, and we're sorry that we couldn't, for some reason, make that connection work. I don't know if it had anything to do with the officials at the pretrial center there, as Mark was alleging. Who knows? But in any case, we heard there at least a little bit of how he's doing. And listen, I've talked about Mark several times in this show before. He's been on this program many, many times. He was on with Christy Clark and various other NW shows over the past week. This guy knows how to work the media. Let's be honest. If anybody wants to mount a full-scale blitz, Marc Emery's the kind of guy who knows how to do it. And I know his personality irks a lot of people who find him overbearing and arrogant and conceited. He's got a martyr complex. He's got a messiah complex. I mean, this is a guy who compares himself to Mahatma Gandhi and all those kinds of actual martyrs out there. And yet, at the same time, I support his cause. I always have. I've always said that pot should be decriminalized, if not outright legalized in this country. And this idea of him serving 5 years in an American prison for selling pot seeds is ridiculous. In this country, we have people who kill people, people who commit manslaughter, who serve less time behind bars than that. I'm not saying that's right, but it certainly doesn't make any sense to send a guy to prison for 5 years for selling seeds to grow pot to consenting adults. Now, I know he stuck his stick into the bear cage. He should have known he was going to get swatted, but at the same time, the entire thing just reeks of injustice. It really does. And I know I'm stealing that from the Vancouver Sun, and I knock the Sun on this show from time to time, but I think they've been right on the pot legalization issue for years, and they were right to criticize this sentence of Marc Emery. What do you